It's me, Redrick, here, the mom strategist. I am so excited. Now, today I'm going to be teaching very simply how to get out of your own way. Let me move this over here. How to get out of your own way. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com and or on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist. I am so excited to be here today and talking about this topic that I know is a topic that so many of us, this is something that we all struggle with, right? Hey there, darling. Getting out of our own way. That's what I'm going to talk about today. I've got something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 simple topics that I'm going to share with you guys over the next couple of minutes. And my only goal is to truly create that shift for you, right? Hey there, darling. Hey, Terry, is to create that shift for you, all right? Do me a favor if you haven't already shared on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope, please do. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. Now, for those of you who I've not met before, welcome, okay? It's nice to virtually meet you. And for those of you who are returning, hey Tanya, good to see you. I want to just welcome you here tonight. I usually do Periscopes 2 times a day, all right? I come on usually in the mornings when I'm working out, and then I come on in the evenings. Now, last couple of days, I haven't been able to do that because I've been like crazy busy, like kind of setting some things up I'll tell you guys about later. And so I haven't been on, but I have totally been thinking about you guys, and I'm so glad that you've come here today. And I always scope about mindset, life, and business topics. So hopefully you like what you hear, and if you do, hit that little guy here on Periscope. And then also, I love people that share, right? Please share on Twitter, on Facebook, of course on Periscope, because we already know that other people want to know how to get out of their own way also, and that's what I want to talk about tonight and support more people in making that shift. Hey, Adley, good to see you as well. All right, so here's my story for those of you. Thank you guys so much for sharing. So here's my story. When I got started in my business, literally, guys, like 10 years ago, I made the decision I wanted to go to work as myself, and I wanted to take my talent, my gifts, my experience, my background, and I wanted to package what I knew into a product or service, right, as myself. And maybe you can relate to this yourself. Like maybe you're thinking whatever you've been doing professionally for 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, all right, you want to package that. Or maybe you want to leverage your education, your PhD, your MD, your JD, your master's degree. Maybe it's your life skills, right? Like maybe you've got some crazy good skills out there, and people are always saying you should write a book, or telling you how talented you are, or how your advice has changed their life and world. Well, I'm talking directly to you. That was me. Okay. And I just wanted to package my experience in corporate training and my systems in motherhood into one business. And I've done exactly that. Fast forward, as a result of being able to build a coaching business, one of the greatest ahas for me is that I get to work from the comfort of my home doing what I absolutely love to do. And with clients, I get to work with, I call my clients giants, right? I work with smart, sharp women that believe in self-investment. Now, they invest time, money, and energy in themselves so that they can realize the dreams that they've been thinking of. And if this is you, then likely you'll love what I scope about, because I'm only talking to giants, right? And that's for those of you out here who see big things for yourself and you're willing to go after them. You're willing to find the gut to go after them. And I will tell you that to me, one of the greatest blessings as a result of building my business is being able to give my kids a world-class education. And I know that there's a mom or dad out there that the reason that you want to run an amazing business is for something bigger than yourself, right? That you understand that 9 to 5 is not going to do, and that do it for you. And that there are things that you want for your children that you're willing to, do what you've got to do in order to realize those things for your children. If that's you, I'm talking to you. Or maybe the reason that you want to run a great and amazing business is because you want freedom, all right? And that maybe freedom for you means that you own your time. Hey there, darling. And maybe it means that you own your time, right? Okay. Yes. Well, you know what? To me, running a business is a really great way to be able to teach your kids however you want to. Like I have a lot of clients who are homeschoolers also, and they love the fact that they have the ability to influence their children any way that they want to teach your kids whatever they want to. And that's, whatever your values are, and if you have the time and you have the money, to be there with your kids, you can do whatever you want. You can go and create any kind of customized experiences for them. Or maybe the reason that you want to run a business is because freedom is something you're after. And maybe that 9-to-5 job, which is really like maybe 9 to 7, you know what I mean? You know that there's more for you, and you're tired of missing your school, the kids' games and plays and things like that. And you want to create different options for you. All right. I'm talking to you. All right. Or maybe it's just for those of you who are looking for other options. Right. Yeah. People do wait too long. And a lot of times people think that in order for you to retire, it takes age to retire, but it doesn't. It takes income to retire. My husband and I have both been full-time entrepreneurs for over 2 decades. Our children have never seen their mom or dad ever work conventional jobs. And that I'm really proud about, because that's possible. And we're relatively young. I mean, I'm not 50 yet, and my husband's a little young 50, but I think that's pretty cool, right? Like, there's an option that you can create for yourself, all right? So, what I'm going to talk about today is how to get out of your own way. I am so proud about it. And I like to talk about it because we don't talk about freedom from that perspective and vantage point. You retired at 35. This is what I'm talking about, right? Retiring at 35. Exactly, right? I retired. I was 30 years old and 30 years young, okay? And I've been a full-time entrepreneur since that time. And I love that gift. And I love the fact that my husband's free also. And I love to be able to give my kids that lens and that view. It's a tremendous lens and gift and starting point for them. Okay, so today's scope, what I'm going to be talking about is how to get out of your own way. And if you guys are ready, then I am ready. I want to thank you so much for sharing on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Periscope, because that's what it takes, right? And I'm going to provide you guys a great scope. My goal is to create a shift, right? So this scope, the purpose of the scope today is to create that shift for those of you who are ready for that, all right? And if you're ready, then I just want you to write here, I'm ready, me, all right? And I'll jump right into this, right? I want you to write, I'm ready, me, okay? Hey there, darling. Good to see you, all right? So I wanted to do this scope today, which is, about getting out of your own way, because this upcoming year, in order for you to realize the goals you have, you're going to have to get out of your own way, right? Thank you so much. Colleen is ready. Terry is ready. Okay. Teachable is ready. Simply Yielded is ready. Some of you guys are out here. You're ready. Okay. Awesome. I wanted to do this scope because the new year's coming. And you know what? I don't know where you are right now. But the fact of the matter is that maybe you're looking at and doing an assessment of your year. And maybe you like where you fell. Like maybe you like where your numbers are for the year. Maybe you like what you realized, what you accomplished this year. Maybe, or maybe you look at your goals and you're like, I could have done more. Like you like what you accomplished, but you're like, there was more that I could have gotten done. All right. Or maybe you're looking at your goals and maybe you hit your monetary goals, but you didn't hit your life goals or your relationship goals or your health goals. All right. So I'm talking to you. So I'm asking you tonight to just kind of have an open mind as I'm sharing this with you tonight, because I want to tell you how we get in our own way. And it doesn't matter how accomplished you are. It doesn't matter how new you are in business or if you're experienced in business or, how long you've been doing anything. The fact that we all get in our own way. All right. And these are some of the core reasons why we get in our own way. All right. The first reason is because number one, awesome, is that we won't do what scares us first. And if you ever want to get out of your own way, one of the things that's very important is to understand that in order for you to hit your goals and your dreams, the big ones, okay, the things that you see in your mind's eye, the things that you really are like, if I got these things, right, like this would change my life and my world. It would set up my family. It would create a legacy for me. It would really make a difference in my world. It's because you don't do the things that scare you first. You do the things that are easy. You do the things that are convenient. You do the easy yes things. You do, you know what I mean? You do the things that aren't hard. You do the things that keep you busy. You know, that's why you're working on your website, you know, even though you're not good at it. You know, you know that's why you write those articles instead of picking up the phone and calling the customer. The customer is where the sale is, right? But you can write behind your computer. I'm calling you guys out. But, you know, you can stay behind your computer and write a couple of things, and it makes you feel like you're busy. But in the reality, you know that that scary branch for you is picking up that phone and having that bold conversation, sharing your products and your services with the world, sharing your ideas with another. All right. Am I calling you out? I know, Chef Evelyn, you know, and that's the goal, right? And the fact of the matter is, if you want to get out of your own way this year, and I know you guys want to get out of your own way, one of the things you're going to have to make a decision to do is you're going to have to start doing the things that scare you. And you got to do those things first. You need to do those things quickly, and you need to do those things routinely. And I'm going to tell you that there are never going to be any guarantees. Okay, you got to remove all fear. I love that. Whoever put that there, right? You got to remove all fear. Okay, because the fact of the matter is, what do they say? False evidence appearing real. It's really true. But if you want to get to that next level, all right, and you want to get out of your own way, the first thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to do the things that scare you, and you're going to probably have to create a self-talk. That's what I like to do, is create a self-talk for myself. I create little scripture cards. You know, I'm into keeping these kind of postcards, and then I'll put a script on it for myself. Like, you know, I like to use scripture, right, from the Bible, and so like, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world, therefore, and then I'll put whatever I need to do. Like when I pick up the phone and I call customers, they want what I have. They, you know what I mean? They've been waiting for me. I just do things to pump me up, change my mentality around it. I do some scripting so that I can do those things. I try to build that muscle. But I will tell you that the number one reason why most people don't hit their goals is because they don't do the things that scare them first. They things that scare them first, they do those things last. The second thing that you've got to do is you need to stop talking and start doing. So for those of you who are getting in your own way, and maybe you've been talking about what you're going to do like forever and ever, ever, you've been writing a book. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Or forever and ever, you're going to launch your business. There are no hearts, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Okay. Or forever and ever, you know what I mean? You've been getting ready to do all of these things. Okay. And you've been all talk. And so one of the things that I'm going to recommend to get out of your own way is that you stop talking about it and you start being about it. And that means doing it. All right. So the only thing that can change your world and your life is the action, is the effort, is the implementation. When you see people who realize their dreams and their goals and you are in admiration of them, I want you to think about it this way. They are people that implemented. There are people that took action. There are people who did more than talk about whatever it is. You don't hit your goal because you just talk about your goal. You hit your goal because you're in action. You're in partnership with the things you need to do to realize that goal. Are we clear? Okay. Are we clear? Are we clear? Okay. If we're clear, then I just want you guys to write, I'm clear. All right. And I wanted to talk about this tonight because so many of us, you know what I mean? We could be there already. You could be there already. But the reason that you're not there isn't because you can't be there. It's because you've been talking about it and you've not been doing it. All right. You've been talking about it, not been doing it. And unfortunately, talking about it and not doing it, right, you're crystal clear, doesn't get the job done. The third thing I want you to do, and this is a tough one for people to understand, is you need to, what are your thoughts on an accountability partner to help with action? I love accountability partners as long as they are your ambition level and above. If they are not your ambition level and above, they are not the right accountability partner for you. Okay? Number 3. The third thing is you need to invest at the level of the outcome that you expect. Do I need to fan you? I'll fan you. Okay, so here's the thing. You need to invest at the level of the outcome that you expect. I want you to hear me on this. Okay, it's a deep concept. Just think about it for a minute. So the fact of the matter is There are so many people who, if I say, whatever it is that you want, okay, what is it that you want? And they'll say, well, Mia, my goal next year is to hit $250,000. My goal next year is to hit $500,000. My goal right now is to hit $1 million, or whatever it is in their business, right? My goal for the first time is to hit 6 figures in this particular launch cycle in my business. No problem. All right. And then you have a conversation with the same people about what are they investing in. And the fact of the matter is their investments don't match the outcome that they want. Hey, Shaitan, I'm breaking this all the way down. All right. Their investments do not match the outcome that they want. I'm going to prove it to you. All right. So imagine that your goal is to hit, we'll keep it simple, $250,000 in your business. And whenever you think about investing in your business that you believe is a $250,000 business, you don't want to invest $5,000 or $10,000. So I want to ask you this question. Who would not invest, right, $5,000 and make $250,000? Who wouldn't invest $10,000 and make $250,000? Okay, let's make it a $100,000 goal. Who would not invest $10,000 to make $100,000? Who would not invest $5,000 to make $100,000? Okay, I'm trying to keep the number small, right? And so the fact of the matter is that your investments, you got to understand this, equal your beliefs. And so when you are that person and you really struggle with investing at a high level in your dream, it's because you don't really believe in your dream. People who believe in themselves and in their dreams invest at a very high level. I'm telling you, it's true. Think about it. I just want you to just think about it. I want you to think about it. Now, today we're talking about what gets in the way. And one of the things that gets in the way and might have gotten in your way is the way that you are investing. That maybe the way that you believe in your dream is so small and your investments are congruent to that. Just breaking it down. All right. I might have hurt some feelings or stepped on some toes, but I just wanted to break this down. Number 4. All right. If you want to get out of your own way, one of the things that's really important equally is to own your mindset. You need to own it. So that means that own the good stuff. Okay. Take responsibility for putting good things in your mind so that you see good things. Okay. Now, the reality is that there are tons of great and amazing opportunities all around you. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of times, if you are not putting the right messaging in your mind, the way that your brain filters what's happening to you might be negative. It might be low vibration. And so if your goal, for example, is to attract lots of clients, high paying clients, great clients, right? And you want to attract people who reflect who you are, then you need to work on yourself so that you are attractive to those people. So, and this is for those of you who maybe look right now at your client base and maybe you're like, I know I can work with different kind of people. I deserve to work with different kind of people. Well, if you want to work with different kind of people, work on your own mindset. Own your mindset. That means that if your client base is a reflection of your inner thoughts, this I know is true. Your clients is a reflection of how you see yourself, okay? I'm just telling you, all right? Really, really important. So you need to own your mindset. You also need to own, as it relates to your mindset, you need to own, the work that it takes to protect your mindset. I think a lot of times people don't think about it. When you see people who operate in a way, they have, great energy, they're, meaning they're very magnetic people, or you see people who are very positive, or the way that they filter information. The question is really, what kind of investments are they making so that they think that way, they show up that way? People don't just show up finished, all right? They show up finished because of owning their mindset, being in partners with the change that they want. They're really no hearts, but I'm going to break this down for you guys anyway. Today what we're talking about is what might be getting in the way of you hitting the goals that you want. I'll just quickly recap for those of you who are just joining me. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com or on Facebook, Mia Redrick, the mom strategist over there. And if you haven't shared yet on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Periscope, Periscope, please do. All right, because I know other people want to know what's getting in the way and they want support around that. Number one, I talked about do what scares you first, not last. All right, it goes without saying, you know what? If you do the stuff that scares you first, you're going to have the greater outcomes. You're going to have the greatest growth. Okay, you're going to have the biggest result. If you do the stuff that doesn't scare you, likely it's the stuff that's not going to be the most impactful and transformational in your life. It's just flat truth. Think about it. Think about it. Number two, stop talking about it. Start doing it. All right. At the end of the day, you know, it's your implementation and your actions, okay, that's going to change your world, not just the talking about it. Doing it. All right. Number three, I want you to invest in the level of the outcome that you expect. So for those of you who, you know what I mean? You've got this big dream, except you won't invest in it. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Big dream. Okay. If you've got a big dream, then your big dream would warrant a great investment because you can already see the return on investments and you're already investment and you're already committed to doing the work, right? Okay. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is for those of you who, whenever it's time for you to make a large investment in yourself, you stutter. Okay, I'm just talking to you. Number four, own your mindset. Take 100% responsibility for changing your world, changing what you see, changing what you filter, changing how you show up. And if anything that you want to attract in your world, all you need to do is invest in your world and you can attract it. Number five. Okay, number five, work your plan. The fact of the matter is a great business, a great life, you require strategy. You know this is true, okay? Meaning you've got to have some kind of roadmap for where you're trying to go. And there's so many people that are trying to go somewhere and they're hoping they get there by default. No plan, no plan, no plan. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So today I want you to understand that, you know, the only way you can work a plan is to have a plan. That's a strategy, right? You want to have a great marriage? What's your strategy? What's your plan? Well, you guys going to date, right? I mean, you know, what are you going to, like, what are y'all going to do? You know, what are your requirements to have that? What's the strategy? What's the plan? All right. You want to, you know, grow your business? What's your strategy for that, right? In what areas? What's your product line? What's your social media strategy? What's your plan? All right. And I think so many people don't understand that what's getting in their way is that there is no plan. Like if you start looking at and really thinking about what you have right now, you might say, I don't have a plan. I'm just shooting every day. I'm just doing things, but I don't actually have a strategy. I don't know how the things that I'm doing interconnect one to another. There are no hearts, but this is flat true. All right. Number 6. Okay. You need to seal the deal. Okay. That means that there are no delayed plans to move forward. All right. What gets in the way of so many people is this idea of delayed growth. Let me put it this way. This is for those of you who have been saying, my people who say things like, I'm going to start going to the gym in 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start working with a coach in, you know what I mean, in 1 month. You know what I mean? I'm going to do these things in the future. The thing that you know is good for you right now, you are, you know what I'm saying you're going to commit to those things like a month away. And the fact of the matter is the reason that you do it is because you're not committal and you're not committal and you do not want to make a decision in this moment for the change you want. All right. People who change decide they want change. I see it every single day. I meet people for the very first time. They've never met me. And the fact of the matter is they make a decision in one instance, right? In one instance to change their life. They're like, look, this is what I want. I've been looking for this. And they make a decision. And then you'll talk to someone and say, oh my gosh, this is totally what I want. This is what I've been wanting all my life. But they're not in a position in their life to say yes to themselves yet. And as a result of that, they don't seal the deal. They have delayed plans to move forward. We're talking today about what's getting in the way. This is what gets in the way. I'm telling you, this is what gets in the way. All right. And maybe some of you guys fainted out there. It's a little quiet. But I want you to understand that that's what's getting in the way. That every time it's time for you to step up and say yes to yourself, you say, I need to think about it. I got to go ask my husband, which means translation, I'm not ready to say yes to myself. So let me go talk to somebody else and then have them tell me, not now. You know what I mean? Because surely anything that you know is right for you, you don't actually have to ask anybody what's right for you, right? Like when something's right for you, I don't need to go to my husband and say, do you think I need a coach? You know what he's thinking? Do you think you need a coach? Maybe the mere fact that you asked me if you need a coach, you don't need one. All right. How about that? All right. What if I said to Pat, do you think I need to go see a personal trainer? You think that's a good idea for me? He's thinking, do you think that's a great idea for you? And his answers are going to be based on the fact that I'm even asking him, what do you think I need? Because clearly I don't know what I need. All right. So the fact of the matter is what might be getting in the way for you guys is not sealing the deal, being a non-committal person, or being that person that you're scared to say yes to yourself. And that's what it looks like. These delayed plans, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 10 weeks, 3 months, next year. If you're that person that commits to your goals that way, I'm talking to you. And number 4, what gets in the way is being ready for the big. I'm going to talk to you about it. So you don't have to be ready for the small. Listen, the small is something that we all are familiar with. We've all entertained. The fact of the matter is you've got to be ready for the big. It takes esteem to handle big. And I find that so many of us, I work with people who are giants, we run from the big things. We run from the big things. The little things we can embrace, these things, little things. But you know that for you to serve from your overflow, for you to serve those clients that you know you can really support with a transformation, that's a big thing. All right. And for you to say, you know what, I'm in business and I'm going to go talk to you because I know that I can totally support you with that, means that you're going to have to show up, and it means you're going to have to change. It means you're going to have to stretch, and it means that you're going to have to grow. And that is a skinny branch. And the fact of the matter is, what is getting in the way is being ready for the big. Is that so many of us want it? We want it, but we're afraid of it, right? What the big, like, what am I going to do with these people? And I want to tell you, I know this to be true. The fact of the matter is, imagine that in your business, you were thinking in your business, you want to serve top folks, right? Like, I don't know, executive people. All right. And you're like, man, let's say you have 2 clients right now. And you're like, oh, it would be really great to serve 30 women this year who are executives. I'm just making this up. Right. But then you're like, whoa, but if I had 30 women that are executives that I'm serving, what am I doing with them? Okay. See, the thing is, when you've got a big, bold vision for your life, it's going to challenge you in your life. It's going to require you to stretch and you grow. And a lot of times what gets in the way is being ready for that big, feeling that you are enough for that big, feeling that you're capable enough for that big. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. And as a result of it, not feeling that or being afraid of it, we sabotage. We find other things to do. You know what I mean? We switch up what we're doing. We change our minds about what we're doing because the reality is it has nothing to do with what we're doing. It has to do with being ready for the big and being okay stepping into that. I see it all the time, right? Like literally. And the funny thing to me, and I know this to be true because the funny thing is whenever I have a client that say like maybe they were speaking for free or getting $500 or something like that as an honorarium, and then they instantly start making 10 grand a speaking engagement. And when that happens, think of it, then they never ever go back. Once they receive the big, they never go back to the small. The challenge is making that transition between the small to the big. You know what I mean? Because you got to be gutsy to actually say, you know what I mean? Excuse me, my speaking fee is $10,000. If you've been taking $500 and just letting people pay you whatever, you know what I mean? And now you've got to say what your value is. That's scary. All right. So you got to be ready for that big, and you got to understand that you're going to be afraid as part of that process. That's what goes along with it. But that is what is amazing. I hope you guys are getting value. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate it. So, and I want to talk about that because maybe where you are right now, you've experienced this, but you didn't know that this is what it was. And you were trying to figure out, why do I keep changing what I'm doing? Okay. Oh gosh. Why do I keep doing these things? Right. It is likely because of the big and being ready for the big. All right. So I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. Yes, I ran from the big. This is what happens, and I think it's important this time of the year to stop being reflective about whether or not you're ready for these things or not, right? And are you getting away your success? So just to recap for those of you who have just joined, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with both life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com and or on Facebook, right? Mia Redrick, the mom strategist over there. Today I talked about what might be getting in the way. And there are a couple things. Number one, to doing what scares you. Maybe you're not doing what scares you. You're doing the things that come easy. But the thing that you need to do is the thing that scares you, because that's what's going to allow you to get to that next level in your life and in your business, right? So sometimes being the most vulnerable is where we get the most growth. We have the most yield, all right? Number two, stop talking about it and start doing it. Implementation, implementation, implementation should be your mantra. Number three, invest at a level of the outcome you expect. And understand that investment equals belief. Your investments equal your belief. Okay. Now that could be a scary thought for some people. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Number four, I want you to own your mindset. I want you to understand that the way you think, you're responsible for that. You're responsible for what you think about what's happening, the way you filter your world. And you need to be responsible with that. All right. And are you putting things in that ultimately will allow you to be magnetic and attractive to the audience that you want to work with? All right. So for those of you who've been wanting to work with a certain demographic, are you showing yourself? Are you showing up in a way that would make me want to work with you? Think about it. Okay. Think about it. Think about it. It's not just like, oh my gosh, I want to work with these clients. Are you showing up like that? Okay. Are you showing up? Are you growing up? Okay. Because that's what it's going to take. All right. All right. And number 6 is you need to work the plan. There needs to be a plan. If there's not a plan, how do you know where you're going? There needs to be a strategy around what you're doing. And you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. All right. So things make sense. Number 7, you need to seal the deal. None of this delayed plan thing. Okay. What I want you to understand is that when you say you want to do something and then you put a goal on it, like in 6 weeks, I'm going to go to the gym, you're not serious and it's getting in your way. People who are serious, and I know this because I work with people every single day who are serious. They say yes. Okay. They don't say, let me think about it. I'm going to start writing my book in 3 months. They don't do it. They say, I'm going to do it now. And they put those things in place. What about you? And for those of you who've been having those delayed plans, those delayed start dates, it's not real. And you need to get to the bottom of that. That's getting in your way. And number 8, you need to be ready for the big. The thing is, the big is scary. All right. But if it's the thing that you really want, you got to get yourself ready for the big. And so one of the things that I think works really well with that is, using vision boards. It's a really great way to kind of see every single day the things that you want to step inside it. It's also important to make sure you have accountability partners, that you've got a community of people who I call giants that hold up the world and talk about the things that, hey, Karen, the things that really elevate your world. All right. Do you have that? If not, this is a great time to start connecting with people that can provide that for you. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Did you guys like the scope? Did this provide you value? Did this provide value? What was one aha or takeaway that you got as a result of being here today? All right. What was one aha or takeaway that you got as a result of being here today? Thank you so much. You guys are so nice. What was one? Anyone have any takeaways, any ahas? If in this upcoming year you're thinking of working with a coach and you've been following me, check out bit.ly/coaching with Mia, bit.ly/coaching with Mia, bit.ly/coaching with Mia for a strategy session, right? Don't be afraid of the big. You can't be afraid of it. You got to understand it. You got to be ready to receive that. You got to get out of your own way. Invest at the level of your desired outcome. That's so powerful. You got to seal the deal, right, Terry? You got to take 100% responsibility for your mindset. And this is what people don't get. Like, the thing is, you get and receive at the base of at the level of your beliefs. And That's where that's all it is. You know what I mean? And so I always find that to be a really amazing thing when you start thinking about like what I'm receiving in my world right now is based on my mindset. Yes, it is. It is. And it's not hocus pocus talk. It's actually a real thing. So you know what you need to do. Okay. So you know, if you need a coach, then you've got to make an investment in a coach. This is the perfect time of the year. You need to be looking for someone that, you know, represents the kind of solutions that you want. And there are tons of really great coaches out there, right? So tons of really great coaches out there. All right. And then Periscope makes it so easy, or Facebook Live, to meet people who you think might resonate with you. Are there any other questions or comments, any other ahas as a result of you guys coming here today? I want to thank you for your time today. I appreciate you guys being here. Guys, I had the craziest day today. You want to hear my crazy story? I'm going to tell you this, Colleen, this is like so crazy. So today I go and get my nails done. So see my nails, you guys like this polish? So I go and get my nails done. I'm having like a blast, very relaxing day. It's all good. And I was driving my husband's car and I'm using his remote in his car. Okay. Thank you. I'm using the remote in his car to go back home, to get in the car, and the remote won't work. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those cars that if you can't unlock it with the remote, and I didn't have the key that goes inside the remote, so I can't drive the car, right? So I can't get the car to come on. I'm calling my husband, he's not answering the phone. I'm calling my husband, he's not answering the phone. I'm calling my husband, he's not answering the phone. Okay, so I was like, surely I'm just going to wait. So I go and have a nice Thai lunch, but I have an appointment. I have to get my makeup done my makeup appointment was at 1:30, okay? And I have to shoot 3 television segments at 3 o'clock. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling my husband. He's not answering the phone. I then say, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just get an Uber, right? This is what everybody does. They get an Uber. And I've used Uber before. But for those of you who follow me, you know that I don't check emails on my phone, okay? So even though I have a smartphone, I don't use my phones for that. When I'm out, I'm out. When I'm in the office, I'm in the office. But I'm not out, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do work when I'm out, okay? I'm not that person. So my Uber account, which I haven't used probably in months, I don't know what the password is. You guys already know. So Uber says, we're going to send this to your email address. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to get into my email address from my phone because I don't even know those passwords because I only do business in my office. Is this crazy? Right? So I was like, okay. Clearly there are other options. There are other options for me. And so now it's like 1 o'clock. Okay. All right. So clearly I'm not going to make my makeup appointment, and I have on jeans, but I can still maybe make my television segments if I can somehow get a ride. So is this story interesting or not? Okay. But I thought it was pretty wild. So in any event, I ended up calling a taxi. And so get this, right? This is so wild, right? So I call a taxi service. The woman that comes, she's a nice woman and she's very stressed. Okay. The taxi driver is very stressed. So I get in her car and she says to me something like, my fare is going to be really short because I'm just like 10 minutes from my house. She's like, I'm $30 away from my fare. Okay. She says, I'm $30 away. I think she rents the cab and she has to pay them like $70 some a day or $150 a day or something like that. And she was $30 away from that, but she had to pay them today. And when she picked me up, she was $30 away. And I guess it was a slow day. So I told her, I said, okay, so here's the thing. If you can take me home, I'm going to need you to wait for me, okay? And then I need to go shoot these segments. Now, in between that, I need you to go get my daughter and take her. She's got tryouts at another school for a play. And then if you can come back and get me, I'll pay you $100, right? She was like, really? So what ended up being a day, what ended up being crazy. Is this not crazy? So this woman comes, brings me here. I jump in the shower. She's outside. You know what I'm saying? And she had totally taken a situation that is like crazy, okay, and brought order to it. And it just goes to show you that literally we attracted one another. I needed her. She didn't have any people riding her cab that day. And she needed me. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And together, it was perfect harmony. And so, anyway, so she picked me up at the end, took me back to my car, and then my husband had unlocked the car, and then I was able to drive away into the sunset. Yeah. True story. That's what happened today. Is that not the craziest thing? So I was like, you know what? There is always divinity, right? So that's probably why Uber couldn't work, because I was supposed to meet that woman, right? So I'm like, why would you know what I'm saying? Like, why would the Uber password not work? I don't even know what the Uber password was, but wouldn't it still be the same password it was the last time I used it? I mean, I don't even understand it, but it was because literally, right? Right. Yeah. You need to hang out with me, right? So the thing is, it was because we had to meet. Like, I needed her and she needed me. We needed each other. And it all worked out. And it was just great. So anyway, she had her fee and she was happy and I was happy. And we all went off in the sunset together. So that's my story for today. So I want to thank you guys for your time. I want to thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I'll be on tomorrow once I'm done. Spiritually deep, right? And it is. But you know what? The thing is, we all attract, you know what I mean, what we deserve, right? So, and it's just so funny. This woman gets in the car. She's like all stressed about the $30. You know, I didn't even realize. And so I was like, what? I was like, you know what? If you could do these things right here, that ain't even a thing. Right? Yes, absolutely. That's a word right there. That's exactly right. So yeah, that was, and the funny thing, so, you know, all of these things are going on, and let's be clear also, you know, you kind of want to have your mind clear before you go and talk about some things on television. Okay. So all of these things are going, right. And you kind of want to keep your mind clear while you're doing the things you got to do. And so, you know, so from the time I got in her car and we solved that, it was just that, you know, from the very beginning. So I appreciate that as well. Yes. So I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you check me out tomorrow after I'm done working out with Sue. I should be able to. I don't know if there'll be a lot of people at the gym. It's been a lot of people there lately this week. So I should be able to scope tomorrow at 10:30, 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock tomorrow, noon. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Good night, everybody.